Hi, welcome to Dark Politics Tarot. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to read on the detention centers that ICE they're buying up warehouses to put people in. And a lot of states are saying no. Just got a card that came out. Salvation. So I want to know, are more states going to get rid of these detention centers? Will more states come out and say, this is illegal, we're not doing this? We got the labyrinth. That actually looks like a big old detention center. Will the states get rid of the ICE detention centers, or will they build up? And then we have the onslaught. Okay, that's interesting. This is my Hallucinations deck, if you're wondering. Now I'm going to use the influence of the angels deck. So show me, I have to ask the question first. Show me, wow, these cards are really jumping. Show me, will individual states keep saying no to these warehouse detention centers? Show me ICE detention centers. Will the states be able to shut them down as they're growing? And then we have the Eight of Cups as the base of this reading. That's a card of moving away, moving them out, moving them away. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, so it's going to be a balancing act. We know that this will be a struggle for them because this is crossing them, this juggling, and people will be aware. People will definitely be aware that they don't want this. They don't want these detention centers where they live. They don't want them at all. So will states get rid of these detention centers? We have the King of Swords at the base of it. So that's prosecutors. So prosecutors are actually working overtime on this. The Hermit, seeking knowledge. I think that's investigators looking at these places that are sort of being hidden and just popping up. The Queen of Cups, it's a very emotional issue. Show me the states and how they'll handle these ICE detention centers. Five of Cups, great. So going into the near future, it's showing they're not gonna have a good chance of, they won't have a chance at building these. Once people find out, they'll protest it and states will try to stop them, is what I'm feeling here. We have the Moon card, though, the chaos, the depravity of it all, the lunacy of it all. It's totally a lunatic asylum controlling this country. Two of Cups, the environment is people coming together to protest these detention centers. Five of Swords, the abuse of power. So the administration is hoping that they can still abuse the power, but will the states do something about it? Yes, the Sun came out as the outcome card. Let's go down to the table. Okay, so this card is very interesting to me, the Salvation. And when I first looked at it, I like to go with my first intuition, and it was like accepting something bad. But actually, when I looked more clearly at the card, it's this sort of demon who's looking for redemption from the regular people, from a normal person. And then there's a big, like, moon in the background. This is a church. So I don't know if this is talking about the people that will actually be in these places will be seeking redemption from everyday Americans, because I don't think it's going to work out so well for them. Having these huge warehouses, and this is 47, you know, the Donald Trump number, but will this making these huge warehouses into prisons, it's not going to go over well, because the people that have to work there, it's going to be so abusive and such horrible conditions that that's what I think I think even the people working in them will realize this was not a good idea at all. This is horrible, horrible conditions to work in. These big cement warehouses, like, who would want to work in them? And then you're seeing people that don't have what they need. Like, at first it might seem fun for you, I guess, if you're that sick, but it doesn't work out for them. Eventually, these people will have to atone for what they've done. So they're right now, I think this is about the states being scared that there's this onslaught of all these warehouses coming around everywhere, you know, that they're trying to buy up spaces, they're trying to make these states house these people in these huge detention centers. So it seems very scary at the moment. We're all freaked out, right? So I think that's what that card is talking about. So eventually, I think the way these things are run and the people working in them will not like what's going on themselves. That's how I feel. So we have the main focus of the reading is the Eight of Cups, the walking away from something. So I really believe the people that work in these, they can buy up these warehouses and throw people in them, but they don't have the proper infrastructure to house people. They're meant to be, you know, have boxes and machinery, equipment, and things like that in these places. It's not made for people. So I think they're eventually going to have to abandon this idea with the Eight of Cups. So what's crossing right now are the states doing this. What's crossing the states actually are, or let me just say, so them eventually having to abandon them. So I think the states are going to fight back, but it's really a struggle. It's a juggling act. It's trying to keep yourself balanced while all this tragedy and horribleness is happening. So that's what's crossing the states. There's prosecutions going on everywhere. So they will have legal challenges to this. And the states have their rights to not have these places. We have the Hermit, so there's a lot going on that we don't know about. And there will be investigations into these places. Eventually, they will get in there and we will see what happened there. Unfortunately, people are going to be hurt by this. And once the investigations start happening, people are really going to be nuts about this. They're going to be so emotional, in my opinion. I think that's what the Queen of Cups is really telling us here. Now we have the Five of Cups, so the future of these warehouses as prisons, as concentration camps. Five of Cups is totally devastated, loss, it's ending. It will be ended. So I don't think it's going to go on that long, although that Oracle card, it looks very much right now that they're inundating us with all these prisons. But people will fight back because they don't want these prisons in their neighborhoods. That will also drop down the price of their, if you want to sell a house. Nobody wants to live in a neighborhood that has detention centers or concentration camps. So we have the moon. And this is the underlying part of this whole thing. It's depraved. It's this is like lunacy, depravity, just outrageous behavior from our government. And again, this speaks to this card of investigations. They're investigating into this horrendous happening. So I do feel that everything in the dark will eventually come to the light. That's what the moon is talking about here. Then we have the Two of Cups. So states might work together, have bigger lawsuits, or maybe it's just people in the state itself waking up and going, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You're not going to bring this to my town, my city. And then we have the abuse of power. Everybody will see, everybody already knows, not everybody, but most of us know how abusive this is. This is inhumane. And the overall question was, will the states be able to get rid of these? So yes, the sun eventually comes out. We have the moon where everything's hidden and scary and people are panicking. And then the sun comes out, meaning everything will be revealed. The states will win in the long run here. I don't think there's anything else that I have to read with this reading. It was very crystal clear to me. So I just want to ask a different question. And I've asked it before about the ICE agents who have signed on for the $50,000 bonuses and all, all the things that they said they would give them. They're now finding out that they're not getting paid. So I just want to look at this again. Will more ICE agents, will they start leaving the job? I mean, they might have them in some kind of catch-all that they have to stay in there, but, you can't force people to do this kind of work without getting paid. So, I mean, there's always the depraved people that just want to do it because they're so hateful. But let's look at the ICE agents themselves. Will more and more ICE agents be leaving ICE because of the pay or just the pressure that they don't want to be prosecuted eventually, which they will be? Let's just look at the ICE agents themselves. How are they feeling right now? And nothing's jumping. Come on. I'm using my Hallucinations deck again. Okay, this one's jumping. How do they feel right now? The watchtower. They're being watched. I think we got that before for them. They feel like the camera's always on them, and they don't like that. They now feel a lot of the pressure of all the people coming out and recording what they do, and good on the people that do that. The watchers. Dismay. They're feeling a lot of sadness. They thought this was going to be fun. It's not so fun anymore. So they're feeling dismayed. And then, let's see, what else? One more card for the ICE agents. Will they eventually leave their jobs? The flood. The flood. They're going to be wiped out. They're going to be wiped out. Okay. Let's go to The Deviant Moon deck. All my cards are listed in the description below. Deviant Moons, please show me the ice agents. How are they feeling now? Will they start quitting? What's happening with the ice agents and their morale? This one flew out. Oh, the Hermit. They're terrified. They are terrified. That's excellent. Excellent to see. The Hermit card. They're terrified. And they're hiding out, basically. They don't want their identities known, as we know. The Five of Wands. This is the chaos they're creating that's crossing them. Show me the ice agents. Show me the ice agents. They wanted to be the strong guys, the bullies. It's at the base of the reading. They're on guard with the Nine of Wands. They have to constantly be on their guard, wearing their masks. That's funny, the mask came up. Show me the ice agents. How is their morale? Will they be leaving ice? A lot of them. Will there be a lot of people leaving ice? The Seven of Swords. The abuse of power, I think, is coming at them. That Trump, they're going to realize, is abusing them. The lies, the deceit. They've been trying to get away with something. And it was all a show with the Six of Cups here. It was all a big show, trying to pretend you're strong when you're not. They're very emotional underneath all their fake male, masculine bravado. They're very sensitive. They're very sensitive little souls. And the Knight of Cups. They just want their money. They just want their money. Again, an emotional card. The Knight of Cups is the gentler knight. So they're very weak, really. The Seven of Wands, yeah. They're so lost right now. They don't know what to do. They thought they were going to be strong, and now they're really concerned about what they're doing. And they're sort of in a prison themselves. And they don't like getting yelled at. Aw. They don't like getting yelled at. Let's go back to the table. Just looking at these cards. These are terrified little people. They don't like that they're being watched with the watchtower. They hate that all eyes are on them, surveillance on them. They're feeling absolutely horrible, dismayed. They don't know if they can go on. And the flood is coming. I think we're going to see a flood of people leaving ICE because they're not getting paid. They didn't expect it would be this hard to go out and beat up people and shoot people, and they thought it would be a lot more fun. But the flood is coming. They will be in a deluge of trouble, and they know it. With the Hermit card, this Hermit card is hiding in a cave, absolutely fearful about being outside, being seen, being crossed by the Five of Wands, because they're going in and they're beating on people, dragging them out of cars, and even killing them. This is crossing them now. This is who they are. This is what they've done. And they will be held accountable. They are afraid of it. They went into all this because they wanted to be tough guys, because they're not tough people. They went with this macho BS, I want to go, basically kick some butt. But instead, I'm now terrified. I'm now being attacked. I now have to be watching and on my guard at all times. This is a card that represents being weary. You know, his head is down, he's tired, he has a mask on. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to be on guard that people are going to attack me, or I might get killed with a crazy, angry mob. Overarching energy, the Seven of Swords. So this is about abuse of power. It's about trying to get away with things, lying. And yeah, it's not working out for them, all this. They're swallowing their own sword. So what they're trying to put on other people is going to happen to them. And they're worried about it. They thought this would be a lot of fun. They'd have new friends. They'd be tough guys. They'd be the strength card, the bully. We wanted to go out and just break heads and be all tough. But now they're seeing not so much fun anymore. And this is the future, the near future. It seems to be a big show now. And maybe they're waking up that this is little Don Don's show. And they're basically Don Don's puppets, right? Deep down inside, this is how they feel. They're very emotional. They're very, this is usually a very loving card, the Ace of Cups. I don't see this as them being loving. I see this as them being very emotional. And instead of being the big tough guy, the big bully in town, they're actually just the little knights for little Donnie. They're little very, you know, the cups represent emotions. So this is a very emotional knight. So he's sending out all these very fragile people, these very emotional guys that have been hurt in life, and they're getting their feelings hurt even more. So they feel like they can't see the future. They're in this is a big obstacle for them now, being in this job. This is, I don't know how to get out of this. I can't even see my way out of the woods here with the Seven of Wands. I don't know how to get away from this. I need to get my money. But now I feel trapped. And I feel abused myself with the Five of Cups. They're sad. They feel abused. They don't want to hear it. Everyone's yelling at them. And it makes them more and more upset. So, poor little ice effers. They're fragile right now. So there will be a flood. And it's going to be a flood of them leaving. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.